Yeah, good morning. Happy Monday. Where's my countdown man at? Baylor man, how many days till college football? It's about 6 weeks, I think. No, I'm sorry. That's not right. 8 weeks. 8 weeks. Yeah, I saw that, Josh. I'm not surprised. I went to the U.S. Open at Pinehurst No. 2 in 1999. Showing how old I am now. Yeah. Does anybody know who won the U.S. Open at Pinehurst in 1999? I'll give you a hint. It's the last tournament this person ever won. Payne Stewart. You got it. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, so I got to see Payne Stewart in 99. Now, I didn't see him on Sunday because I think we had Thursday, Friday passes. We didn't have weekend passes. What's up, Dick? What's up, Robert? What's up, Stingray? Dog behind enemy lines. Robert, Joshua. I hope everybody had a great Father's Day. All you fathers out there. I did. I had a great weekend altogether, actually. A long weekend, too. Started on Thursday. But now it's back to reality. Harsh reality. Yeah, Thursday we went to that comedy show I was telling you guys about. Man, that was great. It was great. And the weather was great, too, because the venue we were at was outdoors, a baseball stadium. But it was like 70 degrees. It was perfect. But the comics were awesome. Oh, and guess who showed up? That's hot here now, too. Guess who showed up to the comedy show? Jelly Roll. Yeah, Jelly Roll came out towards the end of the show, and I don't know, he did like 4 or 5 songs or something like that. 4 songs, I think. What's up, Alex? Trying to remember which songs he did. He only did two of his own songs, and then he did a couple of covers. But it was good. And shout out to my boy Nature Boy from the chat. He came down and stayed at the house here with us Thursday and Friday night. Of course, he went to the show with us. We had a great time. What's up, Jeremy? A couple of quick announcements here this morning. Announcement number 1. Today is June 17th. So today was supposed to be the last date to book this this slob cruise and get the slob perks, whatever you want to call them. Or basically just to guarantee that your room doesn't get given to somebody else. That's the whole point of those. Anyway, today was supposed to be the last day to do that. My boy Traveling Fools has informed me that they have extended this, I think, till Friday. I forget what date he said. It's like a 5-day extension. So, in other words, you have the rest of this week if you haven't booked your room or made your reservation on the cruise. You have till Friday now to still make sure that you get a room at this price. So there you go. Book it, Dano. All my pillows are $25 with free shipping. Is that a good deal? I think I actually have a My Pillow, but I didn't buy it. Somebody gave it to us for Christmas. So I don't know how much they paid for it. Is that how much they normally cost? What was my other announcement? Oh, yeah. I had another announcement, too. My second announcement, there will be no lunch money show tonight because me and Uncle Lou are degenerate gamblers. And the NBA Finals game is on. It doesn't start until 8:30, which means it won't be over till 11. And the lunch money show starts at 10. So essentially we'll miss like the entire second half of the game. So no show tonight. Well, let's take a look at that, actually. What do we got going on here tonight? I'm still waiting on the bookie to pay me for last week before I make any bets today. I had a great weekend betting. I couldn't miss this weekend. Oh, anyway. We got the Mavericks are a 6.5-point underdog on the road in Boston. Over under 209.5. Boy, I'm really tempted to take that over 209. But this is game 5 of the series, and the first 4 games all went under. Yeah. It sucks that we can't come to Hogfest. If there was any other weekend that we could do what we're doing with, on our family trip, we would have done it. But that was the only weekend that we could get it. Use Underdog Fantasy. What is that? Spank Mapleton says, I like the Mavs money line, but I'm also an idiot. If you're gonna bet the Mavericks, I think the smart thing to do is just take the points. Because the money line, honestly, isn't really that much of a payout. It's minus 108. So you're still not even getting a dollar for dollar. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The money line's 205. What am I talking about? Well, okay. So you could double your money. If I do, I don't even know what I'm going to do yet. I probably won't even decide what I'm going to do until a couple hours before tip-off, because I want the series to extend, which means I want the Mavericks to win. But I also like winning bets. I don't know. I think the Celtics are going to win, but I hope they don't. What Major League Baseball games am I betting on today? I don't think there's any afternoon games today. I might skip Major League Baseball today. But boy, did I kill it on Major League Baseball this weekend, both Saturday and yesterday. Let's put it this way. I was down. What was I? I was down $60 at the end of Friday night after the last NBA game. I think I was down $60 for the week. Yesterday morning when I woke up, I was up 70 for the week. So that's, what is that? $130. Whatever. I won $130 on Saturday, I think. And then I cashed out $200 this morning. So, but I won on Saturday. I won a 3-leg parlay, and yesterday I won a 3-leg parlay. I won 2 3-game parlays, which is pretty good. Yes, we're having a rave in here today. Make sure you got to bring your own Molly. I'm not supplying it for you. Mavs money line's not bad at all. Y'all might talk me into that shit. Or you know what I might do? I might take the Mavs plus 6.5 and parlay it with the over 209.5. I am a little bit disappointed though in this series. Most of the NBA series from round 1 all the way through the conference finals were some pretty good games in there. I mean, these have all been blowouts. The Celtics blew out the Mavs basically 3 times, and then the Mavericks blew out the Celtics last time. There hasn't really been that many games that are contested, or any that have been contested in this series. So hopefully we get a good one tonight. Got within 1 point late, but then they still lost by like 12. Oh, and Porzingis is back tonight too. That's bad news for the Mavericks. But it's like I told you guys. In the first 3 games, Kyrie Irving couldn't score to save his life, and they need him to score at least 25 or 30 points for the Celtics to have a chance to win. I mean, for the Mavericks to have a chance to win. Well, Friday night, that's another bet that I won. I had $50 on Kyrie Irving over 24.5 points. He hit that in the first half. The first half. So he had 30-something points in that game. And then, oh boy, you want to talk about being mad? I was big mad, son. I had Luka at over 32 points, I think it was. It was either 31 or 32. And the Mavs were blowing him out so bad that they sat Luka for the game in the 3rd quarter. And guess how many fucking points he had? 29. He had 29 points in the 3rd quarter, and they set him on the bench. All I needed was like 1 or 2 more buckets to win my bet. I was mad. They did it on purpose to make me lose? Yeah, I'm sure they did. All right, StreamYard is open, guys. Give me like 20 seconds. I'll be right back. Then we'll get this shit show started. All right. Let me turn off this damn rave music here. Space synth. Good morning, gentlemen. How you guys doing?
Yo.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. Have you guys seen the there's a comedian called Adam Ray. He's really funny, and he does a bit. He dresses up as Dr. Phil and does the Dr. Phil character.
Oh yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Yeah, he. Do you ever watch Kill Tony Volusia?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was a guest on there. So he did a full 2 hours as Dr. Phil on there.
He does that. He's got his own show where he does. It's like the Dr. Phil show, he calls it, and he'll have like 2 or 3 comedians on. I was watching the one where he had Blake Griffin on. I was just watching that right now before the show. It's funny.
I believe he was on Joe Rogan podcast one time. He's friends with Rogan, and he was talking about how Dr. Phil hates him.
No. So I saw Dr. Phil talk about it, and Dr. Phil actually thinks it's funny.
Oh, okay. Maybe he was just saying that to be hyperbolic. I don't know.
Yeah, Dr. Phil. I think Dr. Phil thinks it's funny.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I think Dr. Phil has a sense of humor. Look, I can't stay on here long because I got an 11:30 meeting, but I wanted to ask, I know it's boring. It's a boring sport to watch, but did anyone watch the U.S. Open yesterday?
No, I'm watching the soccer.
Now, listen, I do not think that it's boring to watch. I'm in the minority here probably. But no, I didn't watch it because I had other stuff going on yesterday.
Well, it's one of the 4 major championships in golf. It's the PGA, the U.S. Open, the Masters, and the British Open. It was played at Pinehurst. Pinehurst made the damn course so damn difficult.
Yeah.
Where there were only I think the count was about 7 people that were under par. But
because the greens are like marble floors, dude.
Yeah,
they were. They're like turtle shells, as they call them.
Yeah, that's typical for the U.S. Open. I mean,
if you don't hit the green at the right spot, it just rolls right off the damn green.
Yeah.
But Bryson DeChambeau and Rory McIlroy were back and freaking forth, and DeChambeau won it on the 18th hole.
Yeah, didn't McIlroy miss a short putt to lose or something?
Yes. And see, DeChambeau had missed a short putt just the course before. And and when I saw that, I went, oh hell, DeChambeau's gone. I mean, Roy's going to win this. And imagine that, DeChambeau comes back and wins the damn thing. Now he has turned into a total different human being too. He was just he was a gaping asshole.
Yeah, he didn't have a very good reputation on tour, I don't think.
No, he didn't. And now he's like high-fiving, fans and all that, signing autographs on kids' hats. And I mean, he had the whole crowd around him shouting USA, USA, USA.
Yeah.
And Rory didn't even do an interview. I mean, he just left. He went away.
Yeah, he's mad. Did you see Molinari on Friday? Did you hear about that?
No.
So on the Friday round, he was 2 shots from making the cut, and he was on the last hole. Now he teed off. He started on number 10, so his last hole was number 9 that day.
Yeah.
And so on the last tee box on the 9th hole, it's a par 3. He was 2 shots down from making the cut, and he hit a fucking hole-in-one to make the cut.
And he got it.
He got it. That's a $10,000 minimum hole-in-one right there. Because if you don't, for those of you who don't know about golf, it's 4 rounds, the Thursday through Sunday. The Thursday and Friday rounds, they take the top half or so of the field.
Yeah. Normally top 60, I think.
So if you don't finish in the top half on Thursday and Friday, you don't get to play on the weekend. And if you don't get to play on the weekend, you get $0.00. So you basically paid for a trip to come play for 2 days for free.
Right.
So and if you make the cut, I think every tournament is different. For the U.S. Open, I'm imagining even the last place guy got probably $10,000. So that hole-in-one there was a $10,000 shot.
Wait, you're telling me that a motherfucker needed an ace to make the cut and he hit it?
And he made it.
That's ridiculous. Has that ever happened?
I doubt that's ever happened. I mean, I'm sure somebody's probably got a hole-in-one is just an eagle. I'm sure someone's got like an eagle to make the cut before, but I don't know about a hole-in-one.
That's
right.
bonkers.
That's amazing. Look, they all play pretty damn amazing, and some of the putts that DeChambeau made, along with what Rory made. Rory was like, he was 2 shots behind when he started Sunday, maybe 3 shots behind, and he came roaring back. I mean, he was his putter was on fire, but so was DeChambeau. But DeChambeau kept hitting off the tee shit in the native grass, and you get in that native grass at Pinehurst, oh my God, it's just a mess. He kept hitting them out of there and making par. I mean, saving par and all that, and it was a struggle for DeChambeau. So I was like going, man, he's not going to win this thing. And then, sure enough, he came roaring back and won it. So. Yeah, don't tell me that golf isn't exciting. If you watch the game and know the game, it's a damn exciting game to watch.
Yeah. When DeChambeau first came on tour, everyone thought he was weird. He did that thing where he was like, I don't understand why all the clubs are different lengths. So he had all of his clubs tailor-made so they were all the exact same length. You remember that?
Oh, yeah. You know what he does with the golf balls? He sets an alignment with the golf ball. I don't know. He uses some machine to set the alignment so the golf ball, he knows where to hit the golf ball off the tee. And he even uses the dimples on the golf ball. He's got an alignment for those. So yeah, he's a very weird cat, man. He has a long putter, and he puts it straight to his arm, and he knocks the living hell out of the ball. I mean, he was the longest hitter all day Sunday. 390, 360, 340. I mean, it was unreal.
Oh.
But anyway, I know that Slim Shady's here, and he doesn't want to hear shit about golf, and I got to go anyway.
All right.
See you later. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Slim Shady just sent me a text with a picture with what looks like a busted up SUV of some sort. What's that about, Slim?
Oh, that's the stupid that got in my way Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, so you hit him with the trailer?
Oh yeah. Well, what had happened? I was at a stop sign, waiting for my gap in traffic so I can make my right turn. And this dummy comes up in between my trailer and the fucking curb.
Idiot.
What a dumbass.
I'm paying attention to traffic going left and right because there's a light pole right on the corner. I have to swing out into oncoming traffic and take an even wider turn. So I didn't look to see if somebody was stupid enough to come up alongside me.
What?
And,
I don't know about you, Pete, but when I see a fucking 18-wheeler, I just don't get anywhere fucking near it.
No, I either pass it or I stay behind it.
Right.
I'm not riding beside it. That's for damn sure.
You pass it post haste, or you just leave it. What are you doing?
I just always assume that they can't see me.
Right.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they can't see you.
Huh?
I mean, I would have if I looked, to be honest, but I didn't because I didn't expect somebody to be that stupid.
How big though? Like in your side mirrors, how big is the blind spot?
Well, not very big if you actually have your mirrors set right. Because I've got 3 mirrors on each side.
Yeah. Still stupid to pull up between a sidewalk and a trailer, assuming that even if you could see him, if something goes wrong, which it did, there's nowhere for him to go.
Well, and my blinker is on, like a good productive citizen, showing I'm making a right turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't use some excuse like I was on the way to the hospital or some shit and I had an emergency or some shit like that. Well, I mean, or did he just say I'm a dumbass?
I mean, really, he didn't say 10 words to me, to be honest.
Oh.
Well, that means
they were all right when I got out of the truck, and really didn't say outside. I asked his information. He said he didn't have insurance at the moment.
Oh, that's even better. Yeah. Didn't have insurance at the moment.
Yeah.
So did he get arrested?
The company has uninsured motorist insurance.
Yeah, was the moment the last 12 years, or was it?
I don't know.
Well, I know they have the option to arrest you if you don't have insurance. Now, sometimes they'll just write you a ticket. Sometimes they'll arrest you for it.
All I know is cop took my statement, cop took his statement. I got a little piece of paper to give to my boss where he can pull up the report whenever it's done. And I asked him specifically, am I being cited for anything? He said, no. He said, you're free to go.
There you go.
I didn't stick around for any other chit-chat after that.
That's the word you want to hear when you're involved with the police. You're free to go.
Yep. And then you do
No
just
problem.
that.
I don't need telling twice.
Yeah,
Yep.
no doubt. Speaking of accidents, I haven't talked about this at all. Mrs. Peete has spent 4 of the last 6 nights at the hospital. With a good friend of ours was involved in a golf cart accident.
Yeah.
And boy, she got fucked up bad. I mean, she went to surgery this morning. She broke her face in 2 places. She broke her foot. She had road rash all down one of her sides, her legs and her arms.
Good Lord, how fast is this fucking golf cart going?
See, these street golf carts, they soup them up. They go like 25, 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, you can get
But what happened was it was 3 girls, women, whatever, young women, on this golf cart, and the person driving the golf cart took a corner too fast, and the golf cart just tumbled. It threw them out of the golf cart onto the road. So
Yeah, that golf court, I think, weighs about 1,000 pounds. So if it falls on you, you're hurt.
yeah, I think she the first thing to hit the pavement was her face, honestly.
Yeah.
And then I think the golf cart tumbled and landed on her foot. So that's how her foot got fucked up. So that was what
I hope it didn't break too much.
that's where her surgery was this morning. They had to do surgery, like an emergency surgery on her foot. They said that she might lose it. So hopefully that's not the case, but yeah.
Well, Pete, I don't have any jokes for that. We gotta.
Well, it's not funny, but
No, I know.
yeah. I was just, I mean, we always talk about golf carts on this channel because this neighborhood I live in, everyone has a golf cart. And I told the story too a couple of months ago. This little kid died in my neighborhood, fell off the back of a golf cart, and then got ran over.
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah. So golf carts aren't.
Fell off a four-wheeler and got run over with it by her brother and was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been thrown off golf carts before, I'm not going to lie, several times. But it wasn't going 30 miles an hour when it happened. And also I landed in grass, not on the pavement. So,
Well, also, if your golf cart's doing 30 miles an hour, maybe put a little seatbelt in that motherfucker.
that's what I said. Yeah, but apparently hers didn't have
See, I think
seatbelts.
seatbelts are overrated. I mean,
Well, what it helps her here?
That don't need seatbelts. What does?
It would have helped her in this situation. She wouldn't have got thrown out of the cart.
And landed face first on the fucking pavement.
Yeah. Oh, anyway. I didn't mean to bring the mood down here.
Anyways.
Well, on a silver lining, whenever I get home, I'll take a picture of it and send it to you and show you. I did buy a new gun over the weekend.
Oh, you did? What is it?
A Performance Center Smith & Wesson M&P Shield. 40.
Oh, which one?
The one with the.
How much was it?
Well, that's where the real silver lining of it comes in. Between a gift card I had gotten for Christmas and all the rewards points I had built up with Bass Pro Shop, I paid $50 for it.
Oh, you can't beat that. Did you get the metal frame one?
No, it's not. It's not the metal frame.
Okay.
It's the polymer frame. But it's got a ported sliding barrel.
Yeah. So those normally
So that thing,
the MSRP on that's like around 600, right?
yeah, around that, 550, 600.
Right. So you got it for $50. That's pretty good.
Well, I got it for $50. I bought all the kids something because we're at Bass Pro, and my wife found something she wanted, so she got a new concealed carry purse. So even buying all that, I still only paid $50 in the end.
Yeah. I was looking at those yesterday. I took Pete Jr. to the gun range yesterday with me for Father's Day.
I saw that video.
He's a natural, man. He's pretty good.
Well, I mean, Call of Duty is nothing like shooting a real gun.
No. No.
No, it's not, but it does build hand-eye coordination, which is something that's vital in shooting a gun.
I did see some on YouTube where it's this like this Vietnam vet in his 70s who plays, I don't know if it's Call of Duty, but I think it is, and just murks people. He kicks their ass.
That's funny.
I've seen that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Oh yeah. I think I've seen that too. Yeah.
That's kind of like I saw this video. They didn't say which one specifically, but it was one of the SEAL teams, and they went to one of these airsoft ranges and just fucking murked everybody.
Yeah. My brother-in-law we have a paintball place not far from my house. My brother-in-law got banned from there. From the paintball place.
Was he in the Army or something?
No, but he had some like $3,000 paintball gun that was like shot like 100 rounds in a second or something like that.
Oh,
and fucking.
They have fully automatic paintball guns. I've been shot by one.
So I've never been at the place, but the way he described it to me was there's this trench that runs down the whole side of the course. And so as soon as the bell or the whistle went for the fight to start, he hauled ass down the trench and got behind the other team, and they didn't see him. And he just walked up behind him and fucking peppered all their asses with like 500 rounds in like 3 seconds.
Come on.
And like he said there was one, like he called him a kid. I'm assuming he was like a teenager. Who was like bleeding and shit. He had fucking whelps all up and down his body, and they kicked him out for it.
Oh, dude, have you ever been shot with a paintball gun?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, that shit'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
Especially if you get some asshole like some of my buddies have been, and they'll put the paintballs in the freezer the night before.
No.
Oh, that's just being a dick there.
Yeah, well, I've been friends with some assholes over the years.
Clearly.
Got to wear some armor. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you wear, I don't know what you wear. I know you wear a helmet.
Wear a gimp suit. Yeah.
But I don't know about the body. I guess the body armor is optional. A gimp suit.
Wear a gimp suit to the paintball range. Yeah.
I don't think skin tight pleather is going to do you a whole lot of good.
No. Probably make it worse.
It might.
We won't make this a gun show, but one last gun news thing. Did you see that the Supreme Court struck down the bump stock ban?
I did.
Yeah, I saw that over like Thursday or something.
Yeah.
The ATF's pistol brace ban, too.
The pistol brace ban ended on January 1st, I think. But, yeah, the bump stock thing is...
Well, here's my whole thing with it. With either one of those, if you're trying to ban something like that, write the damn legislation for it. ATF shouldn't be making up rules as they go along.
I'm kind of like, I don't really like most gun laws, but I'm kind of indifferent to the bump stock thing. I think it's like, I don't know. I would never put one on one of my guns. That's just me.
Dude,
but
I have one. It's just like a novelty thing, to be honest with you. I mean, it's really all it is to me.
But the pistol brace ban is just stupid.
What's a pistol brace?
So anything under, I think, a 14-inch barrel is considered a pistol. Is it 14 inches, Slim?
16.
16. All right, anything under a 16-inch barrel, which is what my rifle is, I think it's like 16 and a half inches. Anyway, they consider it a pistol, and they don't want you putting a shoulder brace on it,
Okay.
which doesn't make any sense.
At that point, it's considered an SBR, which falls under the National Firearms Act of 1932, I think it is.
Well, look, here's the real truth of the matter that people don't really want to just come to grips with is that most of these, like the suppressors and the shoulder brace, the pistol brace, it's all a money making scheme because you can get it, but you have to get a tax step. You have to pay for it. It's a money racket.
You don't have to. That's their whole thing about it. It's a way of skirting around it being an NFA item.
Yeah.
Where to your point, they don't get to collect that $200.
Right. Oh.
Now, I'm obviously not a gun guy or expert or anything like that, but I do have a question because I'm not. So the bump stock thing, I've never used. I mean, I've shot a gun before, but I've never used a bump stock. The only time I've heard of it was when it was with the Vegas mass shooting, where the guy used a bump stock out the window of the Mandalay or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Hang on. No, we didn't.
Okay.
That's complete horseshit.
Okay. I don't know.
That's already been disproven just by here's the thing with you put the cycle rate of a fully automatic M4 is about 600 rounds per minute.
Mhm.
You put a bump stock on an AR-15, the cycle rate's about 800 rounds a minute.
Okay, well, that's still a lot.
So if you actually take the footage, which has been done by forensic analysis,
Sure.
yeah, those were fully automatic rifles he was using.
All right, but what's your question, Volusia, about it?
No, I was just asking about it. Like, what is the point of it? If you were saying that it's more of a novelty thing, then what's the reason? I'm not saying I agree with Slim that if they want to ban it for one reason or another, then they need to write the legislation to do. I think that you're right. They have to go about it a certain way. Otherwise, the Supreme Court shouldn't have anything to say about bump stocks.
Well, so the reason I say it's a novelty, and that's just my opinion, is that I think the vast majority of the people that have bump stocks on their rifles, they're not using that rifle for any sort of home protection or hunting or anything. They're using it's basically just a toy that they take to the range.
Right.
You know.
Well, what's the point of it otherwise?
Yeah, ranges won't let you use them.
Right. So what's the point of it otherwise?
Point, yeah.
Well, just
I mean, really and truly, not much. Because here's the thing: I can bump fire a rifle without it.
Yeah, and here
Sure.
You hook your thumb through your belt loop on your plant, and you can bump fire a rifle.
And any time you make a major modification to your firearm, there's always a chance it's going to malfunction. And so that's another reason why I don't think anybody with any sense would really put a bump stock on a rifle and then use that for protection, because there's a good chance it might fail on you.
Well, and to your point, yeah, exactly. And that's why, to me, it's nothing but a novelty thing. I mean, you can use it if you're dicking around or something, but
Yes.
like if you take the bolt carrier group out of your AR and the bolt carrier out of an M4, they're very different.
Yeah.
The parts made for fully automatic rifles are much beefier, sturdier parts.
Let's be real. The reason for bump stocks is so that rednecks can go out in the country and shoot up a fucking old broke down Lincoln and have fun doing it. That's it.
Right.
That's it. That's it.
The most redneck thing to do.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. If somebody had a bump stock on the rifle and said, "Hey, Pete, do you want to shoot it?" I would shoot it just to do it. But I'm not doing that to my shit. No.
Fair enough.
Yeah, are you allowed to have a gun, Volusia?
No.
In China, no.
I thought not.
Most countries you can't.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah.
I thought not.
You can't have one in England either.
Yeah. And some countries.
Most countries you can. Like, it's very few countries actually, out of like the total number of them, that citizens aren't allowed to own guns.
Well, it depends on what kind of gun, what kind of citizen. They regulate it a lot more. Yeah.
So Canada has just made it illegal.
Get a process to order or get one.
Canada
won't give the license to everybody and yada yada yada.
Like I'll give you an example. Military service is mandatory in Sweden, and everybody is sent home with a rifle.
Yeah.
Sure, handguns are illegal in Sweden though.
Yeah, and so and
they all have automatic weapons. So
in Canada now, handguns are illegal too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that. I didn't. I had seen the headline and I didn't stop to read the story, but yeah.
You're allowed to own a hunting rifle or a shotgun.
Yeah, because you need to shoot the fucking moose. But yeah.
Which you're allowed to own in England too, by the way.
Yeah, I think you have to get some sort of.
So they make it really hard, and it's not.
Yeah, it's another money racket. You have to get a tax stamp. You have to prove that you fucking live on a farm or some shit like that.
Well,
Serbia has the most guns because they just had a war 30 years ago. So I mean,
they ban pocket knives in England too. I mean, that's their solution to everything is just ban it. I'm waiting on motherfuckers to start breaking branches off of trees and see if they try to ban trees next.
Well, they have a big knife crime problem in a lot of parts of it.
Yeah, because guns are illegal.
Yeah, guess what? It doesn't matter the implement. If motherfuckers want to kill each other, they're gonna figure out a way to do it.
Yeah.
They could kill each other with a rock if they wanted to.
Right, but I mean, you're not gonna.
Well, most of like the terrorist attacks over there are like knives, or they'll just run you over with their car.
Acid attacks, shit like that.
Yeah.
And then some countries like Argentina, you're allowed to own a gun, but you're not allowed to own anything as a private citizen over .380 caliber, which is weird.
I've heard that one.
Oh. They don't want you having bigger guns than they have. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, yeah, to a certain extent, but I mean, come on, like you're not gonna. We've had this conversation. You're not gonna stop the military or fucking like with your own personal guns. I'm not saying that we should ban guns. I'm not even a proponent of that. But
oh no.
You can't. I mean, people keep throwing up that excuse, but you wouldn't be fighting the military here. It's actually against the law to deploy troops on American soil.
Yeah, well, for now.
I don't know.
Well, that's true for now.
I'll tell you what. There's 300 million people in America, 600 million guns, and the U.S. military right now is what, 1 million people at the most.
Yeah, but they got a lot bigger fucking guns.
Yeah, they had a lot bigger guns in Afghanistan too, and they were fighting a bunch of guys in flip flops and all broken down Toyotas. How'd that work out?
Yeah.
Well, it worked out until recently. But, yeah.
Do they have? I mean, they basically have an unbeaten record because they fought off the Russians too.
Right.
Yeah, Afghanistan. The Taliban's undefeated.
Right. Well, except for we did actually beat them, but then they came back. So.
Yeah.
You want to know who the last person to conquer Afghanistan was?
Genghis Khan,
Genghis
probably.
Khan.
Yeah, Genghis Khan.
10 points for me there.
You know who the last person to conquer Russia was?
Yes.
Vladimir Putin.
Vladimir Putin.
Fucking
Yeah,
nobody.
Yeah, nobody. That's right. That's the right answer.
It's all been internal.
Yes,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like no invading force has ever taken Russia. I mean, going
It's always
all
a
the way back
corrupt
to
government that
Alexander.
takes them down.
Yeah, but I mean, like going all the way back to Alexander the Great. He tried.
Well, Volusia was talking about citizens having guns that shouldn't matter. Well, Volusia, you saw what Israel did, right? At the start of their, whatever you want to call this, conflict or war or whatever they're having with
The one now?
yeah.
Okay.
So it was illegal for a private citizen to own a gun in Israel until that attack happened in October.
Uh-huh.
Then they
Started handing them shit
then they
out.
started handing them out.
Yeah.
And now it's
Well, those
legal.
people aren't the ones
You
that
get a
are.
gun.
But those people aren't the ones that are doing that. They're not the ones going to Gaza. That's the IDF.
No, they're not
Yeah.
going to go.
Yeah, no, they're not doing that.
So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, they're not the ones bombing hospitals.
That's right.
Yeah, well, the ones bombing hospitals aren't the ones putting the military headquarters in a hospital either.
Yeah.
It's true. But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean you can bomb
Which,
a
by
hospital.
the way, is against the Geneva Convention.
Sure, but you can't just
Yeah.
bomb the hospital.
Isn't also against the Geneva.
The Mossad is stronger and smarter than the CIA is. They can
And it's
figure out
not-
how to do it without bombing the damn hospital.
And it's not.
And, shit, they're dealing with that shit. Honestly, they're dealing with it better than I would. I'd have wiped those fuckers off the face of the map.
Yeah, but that's not it.
So blowing up the hospital is not against the Geneva
Yeah,
Convention.
I mean, come on, dude.
Blowing up the hospital, Vic, I'd have fucking nuked them and been done with it. And I'd have nuked Iran while I was at it, and I'd have nuked Jordan while I was at it, and I probably would have said fuck you to Egypt too.
Yeah.
Nuke
Why?
Egypt.
If it were up to Slim, we wouldn't all be here right now. It would be a nuclear holocaust going on.
We would all be here.
Yeah, what?
I don't know about that.
Why Jordan?
Because they're the ones. That's where all of Hamas's leaders are, is in Jordan.
Okay.
We're not going to nuke them. We can blow up all that oil.
Yeah.
Oh, you can still go in there and get the oil afterwards. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, but what about when it's all burned?
Yeah, so why do you want to blow up Egypt?
Because they're just as much involved in this.
Listen,
going
sir,
back to the Six-Day War.
nuking the Great Pyramids is a crime against humanity. All right.
Yeah.
I said nuke Egypt. I didn't say drop a nuke on the fucking pyramids
Yeah,
or
you-
Cairo.
It's,
You can pick another strategic target in Egypt.
Oh, so we're just going to avoid the pyramids? All right.
Yeah, you can avoid the pyramid.
All right, what about the Suez Canal? You're not
Why not?
You're not gonna nuke that, are you?
Why not? Fuck it.
Well, it's a good thing Slim doesn't have the launch codes.
Right, Jesus.
He'd be playing that shit like it was a video game. Let's nuke this person, beep. That person, beep.
No, I'm not going to nuke people for no reason, and I'm not saying the U.S. should nuke anybody, but Israel should. Hell, if I was an Israeli, I'd be like, you know what? Y'all motherfuckers been fucking with us for 5,000 years. I've had enough. Bye.
Yeah, I think that would be a terrible idea for Israel to nuke somebody, but...
Yep.
Oh,
Do they even have nuclear weapons?
Yeah, they have
It'd
nukes.
be terrible as far
Yeah, they
as
have-
public relations, but
Yeah,
it'd end a whole lot of hostilities in the Middle East very quickly.
They
Public
have-
relations are not obviously of paramount importance, but it is pretty important for them.
Yeah, they have a few, but I think they can only drop them out of airplanes. But I don't know if they have any missiles. But yeah,
Yeah, they do. They got to listen. Whatever the U.S. military has,
Yeah.
the Israeli military has, and then some.
Yeah,
Because
and if they don't have it, we'll lend it to them for the weekend.
I see it's including.
For the weekend.
This.
Yeah, give it back to us when you're done, please. Thank you.
Hell, and if you're worried about nuclear fallout, to Pete's point, lend it to them. Lend them a few hydrogen bombs. There is no fallout from that.
You do realize that when dropping nuclear bombs, there's collateral damage. I mean, millions of innocent people will die. You realize that?
Yes, Slim,
Name me a war ever without collateral damage.
Slim does.
Okay, that doesn't make it good, though.
I mean, it's kind of like those people that want to rewrite history and say we shouldn't have dropped bombs on Japan like we did. No, we absolutely should have.
Well,
Now, yes, it's an ugly
Ironically,
fact.
it actually saved more lives than it killed because the U.S. military
Exactly.
would have suffered a lot of more damage. I'm not saying
Exactly.
it's a blessing, but
The lowest estimates had at least a million casualties for us to invade Japan. So by the lowest estimates, you saved 700,000 lives by dropping those two bombs.
Yeah.
well,
It's an ugly reality, but it's a reality nonetheless.
yeah, we've been over this before. At that time, we were the only nuclear power in the world. Things have changed.
Well, okay, but
it evolved.
who the hell's gonna nuke Israel for them nuking countries in the Middle East?
Not to mention that the nuclear bombs today are about 100 times stronger than what we dropped on Japan.
Oh, sure.
Speaking of, did you see that movie?
You have less worry about radioactive fallout than ever before, too.
Which movies, Pete?
Well, shit, what's the name of it? What's his face?
Oppenheimer?
Yeah, Oppenheimer. Thank you.
So, Pete, not
I
only
haven't
did I
seen
see
that yet.
hold on. Not only did I see Oppenheimer, I saw it at the first showing, the premiere in China, and with Christopher Nolan. I watched Oppenheimer with Christopher Nolan. He was there. I watched the movie with him.
Wow,
100
that's cool.
people, and he was there. Yeah, dope as hell. And he did like a Q&A afterwards.
So I will say about that movie, if you're looking to be entertained, it's not entertaining. Now, historically,
you care about the historical significance. of
yes,
it.
okay, historically, it's an interesting movie if you're into that kind of thing, but it is very slow and long. I don't know.
Well, that's most Christopher Nolan movies.
Yeah.
Well, I love Inception. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I love that movie.
But it is funny, though, that the Oppenheimer, he was an interesting guy, obviously. But
The whole McCarthyist aspect of it. Is
yeah,
interesting.
because he had the communist girlfriend, the CIA really wanted to bury him. He's the only one that didn't win a Nobel Prize for the nuclear invention.
It's insane.
Well, I mean, sure, I'm sure the communist girlfriend didn't help, but let's not forget he was a Nazi.
Huh? What?
Like he got out of Germany to save his own fucking skin.
Oppenheimer was a Jew.
Oppenheimer was.
I understand that. So was George Soros and his family,
Okay.
and they
I
worked
knew
with the
that was
Nazis all the
that was
same.
coming.
Yeah, I
knew
mean,
that was coming. I knew that was coming.
There were absolutely Jews that worked with the Nazis to save their own skin.
So was Albert Einstein.
Well, Oppenheimer specifically was commissioned to create the nuclear bomb to defeat Germany. So I don't know what you're talking about. He wasn't a Nazi.
Nazi, because he was trying to build a bomb to stop the Nazis.
So he wasn't. He's not from Germany, if I'm not. No.
I thought he was.
No.
Germany or Austria, which I mean.
No,
Austria,
Oppenheimer was born in New York City.
They speak fucking German in Austria anyway.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, but he came back over here in the 30s, so he was over there for something.
Yeah.
What exactly, I don't remember. That was the same thing with to Vic's point with Einstein. He had been over there for some time as well.
Oh, he went there to study. Yeah, he went there to study in 19.
Oh, well, maybe that was it.
Yes, and then he got and stuff.
That's in the movie as well.
Yeah, Einstein spent his adult life avoiding the Nazis. I mean, he
got out when things started getting bad.
No, he was in Germany. No. He was in Germany in 1926 and came back in 1927. So this is way before any of that. I'm reading it right now. So no, he's not a Nazi.
Like I said, there are conflicting reports. I don't know what you're reading.
I'm reading Wiki.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I can go in there and edit Wiki. Come on now.
Right. But can you edit this page? Actually, no, this page is locked.
How did they decide which pages to lock and which ones not to lock?
The ones
I don't know. That's kind of weird.
Maybe the high-profile ones?
No, I think it's that. It's the ones that either get defaced or it's the ones that are likely to get defaced. Or, stuff changed around and stuff.
Right?
I just tend to avoid Wiki for the most part.
If you belong to a certain political ideology, then there's all kinds of fake shit on your Wikipedia page.
Well, that's true. Well, you belong to any ideology, there's fake shit. I mean, Jesus Christ. Sure. They've changed shit on Wikipedia where some of the tattoos I have now are, fucking domestic terrorist symbols. It's like, what the fuck?
Well, they did.
Yeah, but I mean,
many things I am. A domestic terrorist is not one of them.
But most historical, major stuff, historical figures, geographic, that's fine. Wiki's a pretty good website. It's way better than it was when it first started. That's for sure.
I've heard it's gotten better, but like I said, just general rule of thumb, I've avoided it for the most part.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, either way, I'm with you. I want to see the movie just because of the historical aspect.
It's good. I enjoyed it. I think you should watch it.
The one scene where they set off the nuclear bomb for the first time to test it, they're like what, like a half a mile away from it or something like that.
That's crazy.
And
like sunglasses.
Yeah, they're just wearing sunglasses. They don't have anything to protect them from radiation or the nothing. Like they didn't know.
Yeah, I'm about to say they didn't know. Like I remember there was a quote from Einstein that there was a very real fear that bomb would have set off a chain reaction.
Yeah, ignited the atmosphere.
It would ignite the entire atmosphere.
Yeah, they were actually like really terrified of that, and not because they're stupid, obviously.
Yeah,
they're not. Well, I mean, Einstein didn't know what a hairbrush was, but a dummy he isn't.
Yeah. I think they addressed that in the movie, didn't they? They're like, it might ignite the atmosphere, and they're like, we're about to find out.
Yeah, that's what they
know until you try.
Yeah. I mean, you would enjoy the movie. I don't know. I don't think Mrs. Peete didn't like it. She was like, this is the most boring movie I ever saw. But
yeah, my wife didn't like it either because she doesn't care that much about like historical stuff. It wasn't as. But I love.
I do. Yeah, I like that kind of shit.
Yeah, me too. So
that's why I can't watch Braveheart anymore because it's so fucking historically inaccurate that it's just it bugs the fuck out of me.
Pete, yesterday I went to IMAX. We have a bunch of IMAX theaters. I went to IMAX. It's actually Shanghai Movie Festival is going on right now, so this is part of that. And I saw Deep Sky. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Never heard of it. No, what's that?
It is a documentary about the James Webb Space Telescope.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Damn,
it's awesome. And I saw it on IMAX, which made it even better. It's cool as hell. It's called Deep Sky. Check it out. Cool as shit.
Boy, I can't wait to use that against the flat earthers on Twitter. Yeah,
that's great. It's great. Well, no, like it's actually like the NASA scientists and physicists talking. It's like flat Earth. It's shit that will go 10 miles over flat earthers' heads. Like it's not. Yeah.
Well, if it's about NASA, then they just dismiss it all together from the beginning.
Right. Yeah.
I'm about to say that's all complete propaganda.
We globetards would like that. You would really.
Oh, I know I would like it. Volusia, didn't you know the word NASA means lie in Latin?
Is that like numerology or something?
I don't know.
14, A is 1. Is that kind of shit?
Something like that.
Lie something. Okay.
You break out the pentagram and then you say it in the Ouija board, and then it's like
yeah. Then eat a baby or something.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Dope. So I was thinking about this today. We don't have to talk about this too long because I think you and I are the only Clemson fans in here right now. But I was looking at the schedule, trying to rank the games in terms of how difficult I feel they are.
Yeah.
Good idea. Yeah, I've done that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that with Georgia opponents.
What'd you come up with?
So I said, I'll go through it. I said, obviously, number 12 is Citadel, right? That's the easiest game. And then normally number 11 is going to be our Group of 5 team, right? But that's App State, and we also have Stanford and UVA at home, who I think are worse than App State.
Yeah.
So I said Stanford 11 because they're a mess and they have to fly across the country. UVA 10, App State 9.
UVA is the worst Power 5 team out there, probably.
I think Stanford's probably worse than them, honestly.
Stanford is pretty bad too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
like UVA had some fight in them last year, and they were staying in some games.
And then they had the whole players getting murdered thing, so I'm gonna give them a little bit of a pass.
Right.
But so I said Stanford, home Stanford 10, 11, home UVA 10, home App State 9. I said at Wake 8. I said home against Louisville 7, only because I put I put a good amount of weight on. First of all, I don't think Louisville's that great, and I put a good amount of weight on us being at home. We've lost 2 home games in like 11 or 12 years, and one was in overtime, and one took a bunch of kickoff fumbles. But so Louisville, and then I said 6 was the South Carolina game, 5 at Pitt, 4 at Virginia Tech, 3 NC State, 2 at Florida State, and 1 is the opener.
I agree with that mostly. I probably would put Louisville one spot ahead. I would flip-flop South Carolina and Louisville.
Okay. Now, I think Louisville is better than Pitt and maybe better than South Carolina, and they could be better than Virginia Tech. But I just think it's much more likely that we slip up at Pitt or at Virginia Tech than at home against Louisville.
Yeah. I could be totally wrong. I think South Carolina's going to be like really bad this year.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, they couldn't. Dude, they lost the best quarterback they've had, at least the most talented quarterback they've had in quite some time.
A receiver.
And a first-round wide receiver draft pick from a team that against us at their stadium last year couldn't gain a fucking yard. So,
Yeah, well, look at their problems from last year, though. They lost like 12 offensive linemen this season in ending injuries. Like, they were just fucking depleted. They were playing walk-ons.
Right. No, I don't expect them
to think that's going to happen 2 years in a row is...
I don't. I don't. But I also, at the same time, I also don't think that they're going to have, like, negative yards halfway through the third quarter this game either. But that doesn't mean they're going to beat us.
Description says Clemson is losing, or Clemson is beating Georgia by 2 scores? Wow.
I mean...
I don't know about that.
Bud.
I think that...
Clemson going 8-4.
I think that game's going to be closer than people think it is, and I think it's going to be low scoring, too.
Yeah. Look, 8-4 is our floor, and our ceiling's 11-1. I think. Like I
could see like a 17 to
I think Georgia
13 game.
And Florida State.
I think we're beating Florida State. Florida State is not going to be that good this year, man.
No, you're hoping you're going to beat Florida State because the internet's going to be unbearable for Clemson fans.
Right. I don't
DJU beats fucking Clemson.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Look, I don't think DJ's a terrible quarterback, but I don't think he's good. Like,
well, I mean, he's better than Cade Klubnik.
I don't know, man.
Not that much better than Cade Klubnik, if at all.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, I mean, you and Lou had a bet on it last year,
and it came down to the last game.
Hey, different offense.
And that was a terrible year for Klubnik, and he's still barely lost.
if Florida State beats us, it's because they harass Klubnik into a bunch of mistakes with their pressure. I don't think Florida State is. I mean, this is the problem when you have this transfer heavy thing is that, it's hard. You can reload, but they lost a lot. And I don't know.
Well,
I'm not.
And it's about matchups, too. And I think that they're going to put a lot of pressure on DJ, that defense is. And he's not good at handling pressure.
No, he is not.
And that's something else I keep hearing, and you just do not have the numbers to back it up. You have a lot of potential on your defense for it to be great, but those guys don't have a whole lot of stats.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, dude. TJ Parker, Derek Carter,
as returning production,
He returned 9 starters.
Hang on. As far as stats from last year, Miami's got like double the production on their defense than yours.
Hold on.
Oh, we're talking about Miami now.
No, we're talking about.
Well, okay, but all I keep hearing is Miami's fucking terrible, and they're going 7-5.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, I
didn't say you did.
Oh. I don't know if you're arguing with it, but I'm not saying Miami's going to be terrible. I don't know what that has to do with Clemson's defense against Florida State or Georgia or anybody else. We don't play Miami this year.
I don't know. Well, I have my own questions on how great Clemson's defense is going to be this year. I really do.
All right.
RJ Mickens is back. Carter's back. Parker's back. All the freshmen that played a lot last year are back. Yeah.
Yeah, they returned 9 of 11 starters.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have.
I don't know if it's 9.
Though, but
We didn't have Brent Venables last year. Still,
we lost Makuba too.
How are you returning 9 of 11 starters?
I don't think we are.
With,
I think it's 7 or 8, but either way, it's a lot.
Snap count from players last year, Miami has got like their starters or their projected starters for this year have got like double the amount of snaps.
well, because a lot of those starters were true freshmen last year and didn't take as many snaps.
Starters by the end of the year.
Not to mention Clemson's defense last year. The snap count wasn't the same because of the way the offense was performing. But
right, yeah.
But I understand that completely. I mean, we had a very similar problem that you did with turnovers because of that. So our defense got a hell of a lot more snaps.
We had still 2 of our 4 losses were in overtime, and one of them was because we couldn't stop fumbling on the 1 yard line. So I don't know.
overtime.
That Miami game never should have went to fucking overtime. That was a fucking safety. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
I mean, we also fumbled on the 1 yard line of that game too.
I think you're right, yeah.
Well, we definitely fucking did. We kept doing it game after game. It was just like, I feel like it just.
Which you would think that would, I mean, if you're going to fumble, that's the best place for you to, because unless they house it, they've got to drive the length of the field.
yeah, but they did house it.
Yes, but
Yeah.
A couple of times.
A couple of times, dude. That's crazy.
That was two of the losses.
sucks to fumble.
Well, like in the Miami game, when you fumbled inside the red zone, it was inside the 5, and Miami didn't house it. The only long one that got housed was we were on offense. I think that was Brashard Smith.
Yes, but I think the psychological impact of fumbling on the 1 is worse. You know,
especially when you have an inefficient and inconsistent offense to begin with. When you get down there, you gotta
because you were so close. And
I think last year Clemson offensively had the worst scoring percentage inside the 10-yard line than any other team in Division I football.
Oh yeah, we were the worst. Yeah, we were last.
That's just sad.
Now, I do think Maffa's good. I have some questions on how good his numbers are going to be. You know, being that guy to get the majority of the snaps. Well,
I don't know when Shipley missed. Which game was it? Notre Dame. He fucking.
Okay.
Yeah, he went off.
I understand that, but that's exactly my point. You can do it for a game. Can you do it for 12 or 13?
Yeah, I mean, we got other guys. He's not going to get 100% of this.
Well, obviously, he carried the ball like 30 times in that game against Notre Dame. I think it was 35. So, I mean, that's not sustainable. So Slim's right in that aspect. But before that game, he was getting maybe 10 carries a game, which is just criminal.
Oh, and I agree with you, yes.
He should. Really I understand Shipley was RB1, and that's fine. But they should have been pretty close to 50-50 in carries, and they weren't. For their
hot take, Maffa's better.
I think Maffa's better too.
Well, I think Maffa was in the doghouse because of that sack he gave up where Klubnik fumbled.
Well, to be fair,
1 yard line, a couple of those 1 yard line fumbles were him.
To be fair,
it wasn't a 1 yard line.
No. I'm saying on top of that. You're right, and I'm saying in addition to that.
Yeah, Moffa's problem was pass blocking.
Yeah.
But so that's why he didn't get as many. That's why he wasn't on the field as much as Shipley was. Plus, Shipley was very good of catching the ball out of the backfield. He was more of a Swiss Army knife than Moffa is. But I think Moffa's a better pure runner.
Yeah.
And he's bigger, obviously.
I think it's our freshman receivers, because we don't take transfers. Our freshmen, highly touted 2 true freshman receivers, 5 stars, are going to have to come in. They're going to have to be hits. They're going to have to be like T. Higgins, Mike Williams, and not fucking Frank Ladson and Joseph Ngata type of guys. They're going to have to come in and play and be good.
Me and Jordan were talking about that the other night, because I agree they have talent in that room, but I mean, there really hasn't been production out of that wide receiver room since Trevor was there.
That's correct.
Yeah, like you were talking about South Carolina's offensive line, that Clemson's wide receiver room has been plagued with injuries the past couple of seasons, which isn't really an excuse because they have so many good wide receivers, but it did leave room for guys like Tyler Brown, a true freshman, to come in and show what he can do. I expect him to play well this year.
Agreed.
Same with Antonio Williams. I mean, he's a veteran now. There's really no excuse for him not to. Hold on. My wife's calling me. I got to take a call real quick. You guys can just carry on.
We'll chat. So, yeah, I mean, I think Bo Collins leaving is a minus, obviously, but he wasn't that good, honestly. I thought he never really impressed me that much. I think the problem for Clemson, and this is just it, when you don't take transfers, you got to hit on all your 5-star freshmen. They got to all do
have to.
Yep.
Well,
and we did that. Well, dude, when we were winning national titles, we hit on them. I mean, it was hit after hit after hit after hit. And now, especially at that position.
I think you were hitting more at the quarterback position, too.
Yeah, but also, I mean, like your T. Higgins and all these guys, right? I mean, Justin Ross. I mean, these guys were studs, right? But then when you get a Frank Ladson, or when you get a Joe Ngata who can't stay healthy, and these are 5-star receivers too. But if they don't pan out and you don't take any transfers, now that everyone else can take transfers, you're going to have some issues.
Yeah, you're going to have to rely on those 25 transfers from high schools.
That's right. That's right. Right.
So a couple comments in the chat. We got Clemson's going 10-2 and winning the ACC, which I think is entirely possible. And then Zona says Clemson football is going downhill.
That's ridiculous.
So let's combine those two comments. Zona, if Clemson goes 10-2 and wins the ACC, will you still be saying that Clemson's in a decline, or will that change your opinion?
Yeah, that will be going uphill. So
true.
Yeah, but as of today, they are
going up.
I mean, Uncle Lou's right. They're on like a 6-year decline.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about the decline. Technically, yes. When you start the at 15-0, there's you can't go up from that.
No.
Well, okay, but people say Miami's been irrelevant since 2002, and they were undefeated until the national title, which was Clemson 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what?
And we steadily got worse year after year. Clemson has steadily gotten worse year after year.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can draw a lot of parallels between Miami's decline in the early 2000s from 03 to 06 to Clemson since 2020.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if that's totally true. I mean, you can make some parallels, sure, but I don't know if that's a great comparison, but we'll see.
Well,
I'll tell you one thing.
Because you're hoping not to be on a 20-year skid like Miami's been on that they're pulling themselves out of.
You changed. When did Coker leave?
They fired Coker in 06, at the end of 06.
And they hired, was that Shannon?
Yeah. And when he took over in 01, they were undefeated, 12-0, national champions. And by 06, he had them at 6-6.
Yeah, I mean, the difference, I think, is that Coker didn't build that program, whereas Dabo certainly did.
I don't disagree with that.
And I brought this up on the ACC show last week. Slim was saying that, and I said, well, everyone's patting Virginia Tech on the back for winning 4 out of their last 5 games of the season last year. I said, well, Clemson won their last 5 games of the year last year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And against ranked teams, a couple of them. So,
Ranked teams.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like good teams. Ranked is a stupid, yes. But I mean, last Notre Dame and North Carolina, let's put it this way. teams that we were underdogs against.
Oh, yeah.
Shouldn't have been, but were.
Yeah,
I
and
give you half credit for North Carolina, but it's because North Carolina was half a team.
but not for Notre Dame. I mean, Notre Dame was favored in that game. And I know I don't know what the score was, only maybe one score at the end of the game, but Clemson, if you watch the game, they dominated from start to finish.
Beat the piss out of them.
It was never in question.
Well, and I'm not gonna lie, I had higher expectations out of Sam Hartman and Notre Dame than what they.
Yeah, so did I, honestly.
Yeah. I think you get full credit for.
I think we all got disappointed by Hartman. I know Notre Dame fans did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now they get
Makes
Riley
me
Leonard.
wonder. Yeah, I'm about to say it makes me wonder. All right, we failed at this experiment once. How's this going to go with Riley Leonard?
Well, according to the Irishman, it wasn't really Hartman's problem. It was the fact that they had no wide receivers, and that might be partly true.
Would be.
Did they fire Stuckey,
Stuckey.
the wide receiver, former Clemson player?
Bro.
Well,
Was-
here's my question: why didn't you fire Al Golden for trotting 10 men on the field against Ohio State when you had them beat?
Chancey Stuckey is not the. Yeah, they did. He's not there anymore.
Yeah, he's gone, I think. Which, as soon as he got fired, I was like, oh, great, he'll be in Clemson in no time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you weren't the only one. A lot of people said that.
Well, I mean, the track record speaks for itself, yeah.
Well, yeah, and then what was it, like a month ago? The rumors started coming out that
Sammy Watkins.
is fixing to be on the staff.
Right.
Clemson,
Yeah.
which would be
Look,
Dabo
I
to do.
am chuffed if Sammy Watkins is on the staff, as long as he's not the wide receivers coach.
Well,
Like-
to be fair, our wide
Well,
receivers coach that we have now is
come on.
not very popular in Clemson, South Carolina.
Right, I understand
I mean-
that. And his replacement should not be Sammy Watkins.
I agree.
As much as I absolutely love Sammy Watkins.
I agree.
And look, it's like Taj Boyd's on the staff, but he's not the damn quarterbacks coach, is he?
Yeah.
Well, and like to your point, like what
Although CJ is
Duke
running.
Johnson came back to Miami to finish his degree,
Okay,
and now they technically have him on staff as a GA.
sure, that's cool. That's dope.
Yep.
I think
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah, GA.
And then
Well,
was
that's good. Number one, he can be an ambassador for the team. He was a great player at Miami, played in the NFL a bunch of years,
Well,
made a bunch of money.
He's
Awesome.
still a legend, and he still holds all the rushing records in Dade County.
Yeah, he's really good, and he's a local kid too, so he can help with recruiting. That's good. Well, he's not a kid
Yeah.
anymore, but all that. That's great. Also, he's in school there. You can make him a GA. There's no skin off your nose doing that. And it
Yeah.
gives you some cachet. It's cool. He's it's great. Yeah, you should.
So
totally
if
do
Dabo
that.
does something like that, okay.
Oh,
Well,
To your point, he hadn't
And-
earned, you have to earn the right to be even a position.
What
Sammy
Dabo
Watkins
did
got
was
coached
make
that
two of the best
year.
coaching hires in the offseason in all of the country.
That's true.
Mhm.
But Sammy Watkins left Clemson after 3 years.
What?
Presumably didn't get his degree. If he wants to come back and get it,
What'd
he
you
can do the
say,
same
Pete?
damn thing.
I said what Dabo did was make two of the best
Yep.
assistant hires in the country.
Now, Luke.
Yeah, well, we heard that shit last season about Garrett Riley, and that
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay.
shit real quick.
I don't know if people
Yeah,
expected
he was
Garrett.
fine, dude.
Garrett Riley is not a magician. He's got to come in there and do things. It's not all just going to come together immediately when he gets hired.
I feel pretty good about Garrett Riley this year. I think you're gonna see some strides this year with the offense.
Well, I still want a question out of an answer out of this because most Clemson fans just ignore it. I want
What's
to know
that?
if Dabo's going to be a man of his word
And
and step down after this season.
No, he's not. I maintain that he never meant what he said. He was being hyperbolic when he said it.
totally, he was
Yeah.
being dramatic,
I'm
which
gonna hold him to his fucking word.
well,
You can hold it. You can hold it to him, but he's still going to be the coach there in 2025 So then what?
He was being a little bit
Call him a
dramatic.
lying
If we
piece
know
of
he
shit,
has a
Bill.
player to
Call him a
beat.
lying piece of shit. Fine. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
I mean,
You can do that. Yeah.
you can do that. But I mean, people call him that anyway. So I mean, you jump right on that wagon.
Okay.
We had what was his name from Spartan? Tyler from Spartanburg.
I-
Now we're gonna get Slim from Memphis. Well,
Yeah, Slim, you need to call in that radio show after Clemson loses to Georgia, and ask him that.
Be on.
Oh,
No, I'm gonna wait till the last game of the season. Then I'll call in and ask you, Matt.
Oh, the game has started. Let's see.
What game?
Belgium and who's Belgium playing? Slovakia.
Are you going to be able to watch the game? Well, I say tonight. Tomorrow, it'll be tomorrow morning for you.
Yeah, there's a bar down on a lot of places are, but there's a bar downtown owned by a guy. He's a Gator man, buddy of mine. He's from Fort Lauderdale, but he's a UF alum, and he owns a place downtown called The Rooster. Actually, is the name of the place, and he opens every morning for American sports. It's like an American style, like it's not like a sports bar really, but it's kind of like a brunch and bar and grill kind of place.
Speaking of Gator man, I knew I smelled something. I'm in Gainesville.
Oh, man.
But anyway, Pete, yeah, he'll be open. The game's at 8:30 a.m. here. He'll be open by 8, and I can go down there and watch the game.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Who do you have?
What's up?
Who are you picking for tonight or tomorrow for you?
Well, I'm a Mavericks fan, so I'll go ahead and pick them.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So the
Goddamn Celtics let me down. I called a sweep, and they
Oh
almost
my
did it.
God! Game 4 was.
So for what purpose did the Mavs stay alive? I mean.
Well, here's the thing, Vic. Now, to be honest with you, I do believe if you made me bet $10,000 straight up, I would bet it on Boston. I think Boston probably wins the game. But if they don't, now you're going back to Game 6 in Dallas. Those sphincters are going to start tightening it up because
Yeah, that's true. When did they change the format? It used to be 2-3-2.
It was. That's a good question. I want to say, so I remember the 2010 finals was definitely still 2-3-2.
2-2-1-1-1.
Because I remember that finals. That was Dallas. That was Boston and LA.
Yeah, I like 2-3-2 better. I don't know what they're doing, and that's the reason that we have to wait 3 days between each game, which is silly.
I don't like it because I think it does give the team that doesn't have home court advantage too much of an advantage because after the 5th game, they've had more home games, and they're supposed to be the team without the home court advantage. I think that's
I might be on an island here. I'm not convinced there's that much of a home court advantage in the NBA.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, there is. But...
I don't know. I don't think it's as much as people think it is.
It's a real thing.
Yeah. It's real. Yeah.
Basketball has more of a home court advantage than football in a lot of ways, even though that is counterintuitive. But
wasn't it the Western Conference Finals where going into Game 6, no home team had won a game yet?
That was the Western semis.
Western semis, yeah.
Denver, Minnesota, I believe.
Yeah, it was Minnesota and Indiana or something.
Minnesota, Denver.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Denver. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that series didn't go that way, but I mean, you'll find that in basketball, home court means a lot.
Yeah. So I guess I can see that
the momentum and things, right?
Yes, that the Mavs are trying to fight back against the inevitable. So,
dude, if they win tomorrow morning or tonight, whatever your time, then they're right back in the series.
Oh, absolutely, they are. I will say this though, getting Porzingis back tonight really helps them.
How many minutes is he going to play though?
I don't know, but the only games they've lost is the one he hasn't been in. So
yeah. Well, they're going to need him to play well and defend well, which he does. But they're going to need him to make shots, and they're going to need him to be a presence. Because
I'm assuming that Kyrie's going to carry on from last game. I'm going over 209. That's what I'm going to do.
I don't hate that. But although I do think Dallas's biggest, the thing that Dallas did the best in Game 4 was defend. Dallas changed up their defense. They trusted their big men more, and they stopped letting Boston space them out quite as much.
Interesting.
And it worked out real well.
Yeah. Nature Boy says, have we discussed Luka being taken out in the third quarter? Yeah. Yeah. But I'm still mad about that. I'm still mad about that. When's the last time a star player, the best player on the team, got benched in the third quarter in a finals game?
You got to do that. He's banged up.
I understand why they did it, and I said that when it happened. I said, I understand what they're doing. I mean, the game was already in hand, but when's the last time you saw that? I can't think of a time that's happened.
I mean, they were winning by literally 50. I mean, and he's
yeah, but
he's
again, when's the last time that's happened?
I don't know, man.
I can't think of a time.
It's got to have happened a few times. I mean, there's been some blowouts here and there, right?
Maybe. I don't know, but
it wasn't when you had a bet on him going over.
fucking Mark Cuban owes me $50. That's all I know.
Well, it'd be Jason Kidd, wouldn't it?
Well, no, Cuban owns the team. Oh yeah, Kidd. Sorry. Who owns the Celtics?
Who owns the Celtics? Shit. It used to be a guy called Grousbeck. Is it still him? I think it is. Wick Grousbeck or some shit like that. Is that his name? Am I pulling that out of my ass? I turned my Viper off. I don't know. Whatever. Who cares?
I hope just for the drama of it that Kyrie goes into Boston Garden and fucking lays 50.
Wick Grousbeck.
Wikes Grousbeck.
Yep. I had it right.
I do like Kyrie Irving. I mean, he is a flat earther, but I do like him.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like him.
I don't dislike flat earthers. I find them very entertaining.
Yeah. Did you see the other thing? He got the other controversy with him. He was walking into the stadium and he had one of those Palestine. What do you call those headdress things that the Palestinian people wear?
Hijab, maybe?
No.
No, he wasn't wearing a job. What? I forget. You guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, he wasn't wearing it, but he had it like hanging out of his bag.
Okay.
Yeah.
He can do that. What's wrong?
Yeah, he can do that. I don't care. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. But people are mad about it. That's all I'm saying.
It's his First Amendment as long as he's not violent.
Oh, it's called a keffiyeh.
Keffiyeh. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna crucify any NBA player, to me it wouldn't even be LeBron James. Fucking Dwayne Wade needs to be in jail for child abuse.
Oh, here we go.
Oh boy, what did he do?
Well, his kid is trans.
Yeah.
Go look at both of his kids. They're fucking weird. And
Rich
yes,
people's
that shit's
kids are sometimes weird, dude.
Once again, like I said, that shit's child abuse.
Rich people's kids are often weird.
Okay, well, the other one's just weird. That's fine. Doesn't change the fact Dwayne Wade needs to be in jail for fucking child abuse.
Well, that's not.
I don't know if he needs to be in jail, but.
Well, that's normally what happens with child abuse cases. You go to jail.
I mean, did he cut the kid's wiener off, or what are we talking about here?
No.
Is he just likes to dress up like a woman, or what?
I don't know how
I think
far
he's
they've
got
been.
a. No, he's got a. Is it a? I don't actually care about this at all, but it's his. He had his son transition to a girl. Yeah.
Yeah. How old is he? How old is he? Or her? Whatever they call them.
Like 15,
They.
16,
Teenager. Yeah.
16.
Okay. Well, I mean.
But I don't think they said that he's had like surgery or anything. It just puts on girl clothes.
Right. I mean, my kid's 16. I wish he would cut his hair and wear some nicer clothes, but he's 16. You know? So.
Whatever. I don't
See,
I
I don't understand that. Like, if you don't want him wearing what he's wearing, then he doesn't. Like, that's not an option. You wear what you're told to wear. I'm telling you when you're getting a haircut.
Yeah, no, I
think the idea behind that, and I do understand and accept the idea that different parents have different parenting styles, and different parenting styles are valid.
Oh, I get that too.
But I think the idea behind that is you want to give a kid that's 16 a little bit more autonomy over their personal choices, so that in a couple of years when they go
listen, my parents hate the way I looked when I was 16, but they didn't force me to dress a certain way or have a certain haircut. Because it wouldn't have worked. I just told them, "Fuck you."
Yeah, which they could have pushed back against that.
A little more discipline for me when I was younger probably would have been a good thing.
But I think that sometimes it's good to give, especially teenagers, a little bit of autonomy about choices that at the end of the day really aren't that big of a deal.
I agree with that if they've earned it.
Right, sure. Yeah.
That's why I asked if he chopped his wiener off. That's a different thing than him just dressing the way that you don't like. Those are two totally. I mean, he could he could grow out of that and be a normal adult.
Oh, I agree. There's a difference between wearing clothes and either surgically or chemically altering your body.
I don't know the specifics about Dwayne Wade's kid because I don't care, but I'm certain of one thing, that whatever they have done is legal in the state in which they've done it. That's for sure.
Oh.
Right. So that's why Vanderbilt got a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, because they were following the law.
Well, I don't think he did it at Vanderbilt. So.
Well, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything was done at Vanderbilt. It's still being adjudicated in a court of law.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I know what's been accused at Vanderbilt.
I don't know shit about that. I don't know the details of that case, but I don't think Dwayne Wade has done anything illegal.
It's still in court, so I'm not saying they're guilty of anything because they haven't been convicted of anything yet.
Sure.
Well, it's not surprising that weird shit goes on at Vanderbilt. Let's put it that way.
No, I don't.
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised by that at all.
Speaking of Vanderbilt, did you ever meet up with Vandy Dandy?
I did not, although he and I have chatted a few times. I did get his WeChat finally, and so we have talked. The city he lives in is far away from me. It's like from Washington to Dallas. But he did say he was going to come to Shanghai. He's been traveling around a bit around the country. But I did not get a chance to meet up with him yet. Now that you say that, I should reach back out, although it is 12:30 a.m. right now. So I'll wait till tomorrow. But I will try to make it happen. We talked about it, but it didn't happen yet.
Yeah.
But I do travel around the country a lot myself, and so it's possible that we can arrange something.
Yeah, I know I asked him why he moved out there. He said he quit the IRS, which I think is code for getting fired, I think. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate, but if he did get fired, he's the only one that got fired in the past 5 years because they're actually making the IRS bigger, not smaller.
Yeah, hiring, yeah.
For no reason.
Which is,
well, no,
I'm about to say, that's such a great idea.
Well, they're super inefficient. They need to upgrade their shit.
Well, they don't even really.
Speaking of IRS, what do you think of what Trump said about doing away with the income tax and just supplementing it with a tariff on imported goods?
That's insane. That's obviously insane.
I don't think it's insane.
I do. I mean, come on, dude.
Now, how he goes about supplementing it might be insane. I don't know, but
almost certainly not.
I mean, in the end, I think it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other, because that'll just raise the price of all the shit that's imported.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yes, but it will also put a heavier burden on the middle class and working class.
Well, the idea is to bring manufacturing back to the United States. That's what he's trying to do.
That's not going to happen. iPhones are never going to be made in the United States again. He needs to just accept that.
Okay, maybe not iPhones, but other things.
Like what?
Automobiles, for one.
Made in automobiles, okay. I mean, sure, some automobiles are made in the United States.
You can only partially blame the government for that one. I mean, unions are really what hollowed out Detroit.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Look, it's just the world we live in. We're no longer going to live in a country, in a developed, rich, Western, first world, quote unquote, country where everything is made in that country. It's just ridiculous. It's not the 1930s anymore.
Well, you don't have to make oil. It's already here. We just got to drill it.
Okay, that's one thing. I mean, there are reasons to do that and reasons to not do that.
What's the reasons not to do it? I'd like to hear the reasons not to do it.
Well, the reasons not to do it are obvious. Okay.
What?
But the reasons to do it are also
like
obvious.
what?
Right. Okay. We're destroying.
No, please explain these obvious reasons not to do it.
We're destroying the planet that we live on. I mean, at some point we've got to. I think we should.
But cars are not to blame for that.
Right. I understand. I think we should do two things. We should use the resources that we have to help the economy.
Yeah, oil is a major resource. We should use it. You're right. I agree with you.
Yes, and we should also incentivize research and development on new technologies that we can use in the future, so that we're not.
Yeah, well, why can't you do both though?
I think we should do both. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, so you agree with Trump?
I don't necessarily, although I don't dogmatically disagree with him on anything that he says just because he's him.
I'm just talking strictly about American oil.
Well, I think we should be careful about it, right?
What does that mean?
That means I think that we should, I don't think that we should be polluting lakes and things like that.
I don't think anybody thinks that.
I don't know. I mean, that's a complicated one for me personally.
What lakes are you polluting by drilling for oil? You just say shit that has nothing to do with.
Yeah, drilling for oil in the Gulf of Mexico is not polluting the Mississippi River.
Have a problem with drilling for oil in the Gulf of Mexico. Fracking is a polluting exercise.
Oh, that's okay. Well, that's a different thing. But
Yeah, right.
but now Saudi Arabia has just told us, yeah, fuck you. We're not trading with the American dollar anymore. You saw that, didn't you?
Yeah,
I think Russia did the same thing.
What do they want to trade in now?
They're trading with euros, yen. I don't know, 3 or 4 different currencies, but not the U.S. dollar has always been what oil is traded in around the world. Not anymore.
Okay. I mean,
so
is that not fair?
All right, so can we?
I don't know if it's fair. My point is, why rely on the Middle East for oil when we have plenty here?
That makes sense.
So can we exchange our dollars for euros and then buy oil from Saudi Arabia?
Well, yes, we can still buy it. It's not like they won't take our money. It's just that the standard currency with which oil is traded.
Yeah, but outside of his whole point, and honestly, my point is, why are we buying the bulk of our oil from Saudi Arabia?
We don't need to buy any from them.
Well, no, you're going to have to buy some.
Okay.
There's different grades for different things.
Okay, fine. But the majority of the oil that we consume in America should be from America, in my opinion.
But we were absolutely energy dependent in 2019. We were not dependent on any other country.
You mean we were energy independent?
Independent.
Yes, independent. Excuse me.
Prophet says we shouldn't drill in the U.S. at all. Why?
Because the reasons that was just mentioned, because of
look, I mean, these are important reasons. We can deny it till we die, but you're going to be wrong because but if we do that, we'll do exactly that. But I think that
deny what? The average temperature going up 1 degree in 100 years?
Yeah. What's happening in South Florida?
About 4 degrees. But...
You cool with that? Then 100 years is way more than 1 degree.
Guess what, Vic? They can't even agree on that. They keep moving the goalposts.
That doesn't mean it's not happening if they.
I just don't understand the point. The oil is going to be consumed no matter who produces it. So why would we be a bitch to fucking the Middle East for oil when we have plenty of it here?
You're right.
I don't understand.
That is the point, but it also is a little bit fatalistic. I mean, look, at some point, someone's going to have to do something about this, right?
Well, yeah, but once again, cars are not the problem. When you're talking about
cars are part of the problem, but they're not the whole problem.
Yes, but they're such a minute part of the problem. What's the vast majority of the problem outside of just China and India? I'm talking about us is cargo ships.
Yeah.
And the industrial sector.
Airplanes as well are pretty big.
They're no comparison to the industrial sector.
Yeah, sure, of course.
And cargo ships.
Absolutely.
Why aren't they run off of nuclear? Oh, that's right. Nuclear bad too.
No, nuclear's great.
Yeah, nuclear not.
Of course it is.
Well, most of your side doesn't agree
nuclear
with you.
Not.
California banned nuclear power.
They what?
California banned nuclear power.
So what do they want to do?
Don't do that, no.
They've got they want solar farms and windmills.
Well, those are good.
That's why they have rolling fucking blackouts every summer, all summer long. They want you all to buy electric vehicles, but you're not allowed to charge them during certain hours.
Well, the electricity that they're charging their cars with comes from burning coal.
In a lot of instances, yeah.
So,
I mean, it doesn't mean that it's not good to have electric cars. It just means that we're not at the point yet that we need to be at.
Yeah, we can't.
Well, like I said, though, it doesn't help when you have multiple states ban nuclear power for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah,
that is the cleanest.
Looks
Gavin Newsom wants to apply for federal funding that will keep their last power plant open. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds dumb to me. Well, no, that sounds. Yeah. I think nuclear power is
Seems
good.
counterintuitive.
The smart thing to do is get solar panels on your house, and then you can charge your electric car with the free energy you're getting from the solar panel on your house. Problem
That works
solved.
in some places.
See, then you get the best of both worlds.
Well, that works in some places.
The only
That works
problem
great
is
if you-
solar energy is not very efficient at all.
Right. We need to continue to make it more efficient.
Why is it not? It's definitely efficient on a house. I mean, you pay $0 for energy. As a matter of fact, the city you live in pays you money back for the excess energy that you create.
Yeah, but it doesn't create all that much energy.
Enough to have listen to me, sir.
Without a shitload of solar panels, it doesn't create a whole lot.
My electric bill during the summer is $450 a month. So with solar panels, that's $0 a month. That's $450 a month I'm saving by not having hydroelectric power.
Right. So what they do in a lot of places, and they do this a lot down in the Mojave Desert and like New Mexico and Arizona, particularly in a lot of like Native American communities, is they will either be subsidized and give the people solar panels, or they'll basically give them a loan for it that they can pay off by creating extra.
They do that in the States too, yeah.
No, I'm saying in New Mexico and Arizona is what I said.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds
And then even Elon Musk is still trying to figure this problem out. The battery technology to store that power once you accumulated it from solar panels,
Yes.
still isn't great.
So Slim, I went. This was 2 weeks ago. I went down. You know, Tesla's got a huge factory in Shanghai, right?
Yeah.
And so I've been there, but I went down. They're building a new factory right down the street from it, and it's not in the city. It's way the fuck out in this, like the deepest suburbs, as you might imagine. But the land is cheaper and shit. But so they're building a new factory. They just broke ground on it, which is why I was down there. They had a big press conference for it, and it's to build those mega packs. You know what I'm talking about?
Mega what?
Mega pack.
Yeah.
It's a huge energy storage battery thing. The only factory making them now is in California, but they're building one here in Shanghai that's going to be bigger than that, and they're going to sell them to different countries and different things and shit like that. So it's basically what Slim is just talking about. It's a way to store excess energy in mass quantity.
Yeah, but I mean, even Elon has said that technology still isn't where it needs to be.
Sure, yeah.
No, but it's improving.
Sure. I mean, look, there's a lot of technologies that aren't where they need to be, but we still got to keep doing it.
Well, my whole thing is there really shouldn't be a power problem. Fucking nuclear plants are not a problem. I mean, Jesus Christ, most of our military is run off of nuclear power.
No, I'm a fan of nuclear power.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
I don't know why people have to be like pro one or the other. It's the same. It's the same as the people who are like pro electric cars and people who are pro gas cars. Like, why can't both be cool and good? I don't understand.
I think that it's clear that we should try to take measures to move away from fossil fuels as our primary source of energy, not just as the United States, but as every country. But it's impractical to say we're just going to stop it now. I mean, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's impossible.
We should fucking hurry up about it.
The reason I throw nuclear out there, I mean, to his point, coal burning plants are a problem. Okay, you can do away with that problem in the next 5 years.
Right. No, you and I agree on this, actually. So that's cool.
It's by far the most efficient. You get the most power created out of it. And literally the only byproduct is steam. That's the only thing that comes out.
Yeah, water vapor. More rain.
Are you talking about nuclear power?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there are nuclear waste products, but water and stuff.
Well, we know how to properly dispose of those now better than we did back in 1950.
That's true. Although Japan did just dump a whole bunch of it in the Pacific Ocean last year, but
darn it, Japan.
Well, and see, that's where I'm against the government getting involved in a lot of this climate shit with other countries, because there's no onus on any other country to abide by it. Like, we could go to absolutely zero carbon emissions tomorrow, and you don't even put a dent in the problem because we aren't the problem. China and India are the biggest polluters by far.
Right. I mean, number 3, I think. But I think we'd put a dent in the problem, but it would also put a dent in the economy. I think that's the issue.
I'm not too worried about the world heating up. I'm more worried about it getting cold. So buy as much gas guzzlers as you can. Let's keep this thing warm.
Some pretty big flooding down your neck of the woods, though, Slim, or at least where you come from.
Yeah.
And Sarasota all fucked up right now.
Is flooding a new thing that's just happened this week or something?
It's a more common thing.
Is it?
Yep.
I don't know about that.
Flooding in the state of Florida is not uncommon.
I don't know. There's been at least
flooding in a lot of places, but it's more common.
There's been at least 2 civilizations wiped out by flooding, according to every manuscript that's ever been written. But they didn't have oil back then. So what did they blame it on then?
I don't put a whole lot of credence into that. But
what do you mean you don't put credence into that?
Are you talking about the Noah flood?
I'm talking about every single historical manuscript for the past 5,000 years talks about great floods. So but floods aren't new.
But when cities that have been up for 100, 200, 500 years are starting to flood out way more than they ever did before. Stuff just started flooding in the 21st century. It hasn't been happening for millions of years or anything. Well, it just happens more often.
No, it doesn't.
More severely. It sure does.
No, you need to stop listening to Al Gore. He's been wrong too many times for you to listen to him anymore.
I don't care a whit about Al Gore. Nothing to do with Al Gore.
That's just not true. Like, I mean, according to these fucking climate doomsdayers, Florida should have been underwater 5 years ago.
No, Florida's supposed to be underwater in about 100 years, maybe 80.
There's Vandy Danny in the chat. He says Al Gore is a great Tennessean. Well, that explains it. He's from Tennessee. That's why he's so fucking stupid.
What happened?
Vandy Danny said Al Gore is a great Tennessean.
Oh, yeah. No, he is. Al Gore's cool.
He also said the 3 Mile Island incident stopped the nuclear energy in America.
I mean, it didn't help, but it didn't stop it.
Vandy says he's in Bangkok right now.
One incident
with
absolutely 0
Oh, yeah. All right. Bangkok is cool as fuck. Bangkok is dope. Have fun, bro.
Like, why
dude, when you come back to China,
3 Mile Island stop anything? That doesn't make any sense. Like,
no, I'm not.
The reactor just melted down.
Well,
like,
the plant is still there.
Yeah.
So yeah, Vandy, when you come back to China, hit me up, man. We got to figure out a way to meet up, dude. But I can tell you that on WeChat. So.
Al Gore lost credibility when he banned 2 Live Crew.
Yeah, dude. Was that him or was
that was Tipper Gore? That was Tipper Gore.
Oh man.
From what?
No, he didn't ban them. Obviously, it didn't work. But no, his wife, Tipper, tried to, because they were vulgar or whatever, and she was just.
Well, I mean, they did get arrested for performing their music, which is fucking
they made
psychotic.
They got arrested.
That's insane. They did make it through though.
Yeah, then they made them put the parental advisory explicit lyrics on every CD, and all that did was boost sales.
I mean, okay, don't. Pay attention to what the fuck your kids are listening to.
No shit, right?
Parental advisory.
That's like this guy that was fucking. Dude, that's like this guy that was thrown in prison over the fucking Hillary Clinton meme. It's like, seriously, what the fuck are we doing?
Well, yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, sure.
Like, what in the actual fuck?
Well, that didn't happen in America.
Like, that's where. Yes.
Yeah,
like, that's where me and Lou
it did happen.
Disagreements. Like. You just want to say that this is shit concocted and conspiracy theories. No, a motherfucker literally got 10 years in prison for a meme.
Well, what was the meme?
Making fun of Hillary Clinton.
Making fun of Hillary Clinton or credible threats against Hillary Clinton? No,
it wasn't a threat.
Well,
and it was made to look like one of her campaign ads.
What was it? I'll look it up.
I mean, I'd pull it up and show you, but I can't on here.
Yeah, I can't show it on here either. Otherwise, they might take my channel down.
I'll look it up later. We'll talk about it next show or something.
But yeah, I mean, it's literally just a meme.
A guy went to a pizza restaurant in D.C. and threatened to shoot people with a gun.
Oh yeah, the Pizzagate thing.
I don't know. I don't think that's the same story.
Yeah,
Like,
that's not
you go to jail for that.
Yeah, some weirdo showed up at a pizza restaurant. Throw him in jail. He's obviously
on 4chan and the whole QAnon thing. They were saying that there was like a pedophile ring in the basement, and where they're sucking the blood out of babies and some shit. Like it's insane.
Yeah, eating babies.
Well, no.
Yeah, that was proven
that
untrue.
What that ended up tying into was the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing.
Right, but there was no.
Is what they tied Pizzagate into.
Yeah, but it wasn't
but
back in the back
Pizzagate
of
was
a Pizza Hut like they were saying.
And why would you eat a baby when you got perfectly good pizza 5 feet away? I don't get it.
No, it wasn't a Pizza Hut. It wasn't a Pizza Hut. It was a privately. It was a smaller pizza. It wasn't a big.
I stand corrected.
It's a pizza place in Washington, and then people got it into their. Oh my God! People got it into their minds that it was just insane. Just insane.
I don't know that locking people up for being stupid though is a good thing.
Well, if they show up with a gun and threaten someone's life, then maybe it is.
Well, I mean, if you do something stupid like he just said, you walk around in a pizza place waving a gun around, lock your ass up.
Yeah.
But
not
I mean,
meme.
if you just, not a meme. Like,
I mean,
we're not,
again, I do
Europe,
want to qualify that because I can't envision a scenario where someone makes a meme that is a credible threat on someone's life.
No,
then
a
they
meme
might
is
need
not
to be
a fucking
checked
threat.
out. Well, it depends. But I don't know if this one was or not. I actually don't know what you're talking about, so I can't speak to it. I'll look it up and we'll talk about it.
Well, listen, me putting a fucking, if I take a picture of you and put a reticle right over your forehead, it doesn't matter how you try and twist it. That's not a threat. It's a fucking meme.
I agree, but the rules do differ with some people, don't they? I'm not saying they should or shouldn't, but
yeah, well, that's where I have a problem as well.
I both agree.
Trump, it would be a problem.
This is a good comment here because I agree and disagree with what he says. He says more common sense laws, gun laws, please.
Yes, I agree with that.
I agree with him that most of the gun laws right now are not common sense. So he's right about that.
Yeah.
But I think I'm disagreeing with him on what he considers to be common sense.
Right.
I'm pretty sure.
I think that I think we talked about this several months ago. I'm not going to get into the specifics about what types of guns and things like that because Slim will tear me apart on that because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I will say this. I do think that there should be things like if you have a criminal or a conviction for any sort of violent offense.
Well, that's already in place. If you have a felony, you can't own a gun.
Not a felony. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about which by the way means Trump can't own guns now.
Which, by the way, I don't agree with that stupid law either. But
if you're a convicted felon, you can't buy a gun.
I think.
Well, no. Here's how convoluted that
violent crime.
And I'll use Tennessee as an example.
Yeah.
Under Tennessee law, a convicted felon can own a gun. The problem is, under federal law, you can't, and you have to fill out a federal form, and you have to buy it from somebody with a federal license.
Okay.
So you can't buy one, but you are allowed to own one.
That's weird, but I mean, I would disagree with the Tennessee law. Look, my point is that, especially a violent crime, even if it's something like animal abuse or something, like if you get into a fight in a parking lot, I think.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, though, is you can get a felony for a non-violent crime and still not own a gun.
Right, but they can also take away certain rights that you have. So in a lot of states, felons can't even vote. So what do you think is more important?
Well, I disagree with that, too.
Now, here's the thing. If it's a non-violent conviction, you can, after 10 years, petition the governor to get your rights restored.
For gun ownership or voting?
For voting and shit like that. Gun ownership, that's federally mandated. So.
Right, I got you, yeah. No, I also think that the age should be increased from 18 to 21. That's another thing that
Well, here's my whole thing with that. If the government can put a gun in your hand, you should be able to go buy one. You should also be able to have a cigarette and have a fucking drink. You're either an adult at 18 or you're an adult at 21.
Well, smoking weed should be illegal for anyone over 18. Well, actually, weed at 21 doesn't bother me as much. Yeah, as somebody who used to smoke a lot of weed, it probably would have been better if I waited till I was 21 to start.
So now this guy, he's putting words in my mouth. He says, Pete thinks 3 times offenders should have a gun. Did I say that? I didn't say that, did I? No, I didn't.
But I think
Now,
guns at 21
the
makes sense
original
just
point,
because.
Volusia, at this point, between local, state, and federal, there's 23,000, almost 24,000 gun laws on the books.
Yeah.
We've got more than a fucking enough.
Oh,
And a lot of them are just fucking dumb and need to go away.
Well, a simple number doesn't tell the story. I think that we could simplify it and have, 1,000 gun laws or 500 gun laws or 200 gun laws, but they need to be more. They need to A, have more teeth, and B, make more sense. So the sheer number of laws doesn't really mean anything, does it?
Okay, now that'll lead me to my next question.
Yeah.
To define what this statement means.
Okay.
Shall not be infringed.
Well, it depends on what context you're talking about. What do you mean?
Uncle Lou hit it on the head.
What did he say? I can't see the comment section.
He says, does the Constitution say the right to bear arms unless you're a felon? No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Okay. But they can make amendments and things like that. We don't have to follow the absolute letter of every word in the Constitution that was written 250
Right, but they didn't make an amendment. They just said if you're a felon, you can't own a firearm. So where's the amendment at?
And actually, that's not true. Felons can own firearms.
Mm.
Even, perfect example, anything black powder, they don't even run background checks on those.
Well, for obvious reasons.
Okay, so actually the way the law is, felons are only allowed to own modern firearms.
They're not allowed to own muskets?
No, they absolutely are.
Oh, I must have misheard you.
Yeah, you got it backwards. He's saying you're allowed to own black powder, but not.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Which nobody's using that.
Black powder rifles, they don't even run back. Well, actually, you had somebody. This was 10 or 12 years ago. You had a push to try and do that because you had a convicted felon literally get like a dozen black powder rifles and a couple of pistols and open fire on a bunch of cops and firefighters.
So this is the greatest. This is the greatest comeback from people who don't know shit about guns. Description says the Constitution was written at a different period of time as an American. They have changed. You're right. At the time that the Constitution was written, the populace, the civilians, had more modern firearms than the military did. For 100 years.
Equally as armed as the military.
For 100 years. The military was way behind the times in innovation in firearms. Civilians had much better guns than the military had from 1770 to 1890.
Right.
Yes,
Or
they did.
were just as good. Yeah.
There
No,
were more
better.
Gatling guns in civilian hands than there were in the military when they came out.
Should nukes be legal? I don't think anybody thinks nukes should be legal. There's a big difference between a 9mm pistol and a fucking nuclear bomb.
Yes.
And they,
And to that dumb statement about we didn't have modern firearms back then, does that mean the First Amendment only applies to a quill and
for all you people to think that cannons, which was the major artillery back then, were allowed to be owned by civilians. And by the way, still are.
Yes. No matter how many times Joe Biden says it, yes, you can own a cannon. Jesus Christ, you can go buy a tank. Those are perfectly legal to own.
You can make one, the fucking killdozer. You know the killdozer, Slim?
Yeah, I remember that.
That was 20 years ago, like last week.
I saw that. There were videos all over. People were reposting it on Twitter for the 20th anniversary.
Are you talking about the chair?
Lou is right here. Lou is right here.
There's a place in Alabama where they have modern and even World War II antique tanks that you can go in there and drive and shoot, have a great time with.
Lou is right here. Look, I mean, does the Constitution say there's a right to bear arms except for nuclear arms? There's a right to bear arms except for fucking, bazookas or whatever.
Well, but guns don't end humanity. A nuclear bomb can. Here, look at this.
Okay, but okay. So should we be able to own fucking rocket launchers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Sure. Hey, look at. I don't know. Some of you can't see YouTube on the panel here. I asked Mrs. Peete for one of these for Father's Day. She told me to go fuck myself. It's a recliner that's a tank. Have you guys seen these?
I said that to my wife. I was like, I want that.
These things are awesome.
That is awesome.
Can you cruise it around the house?
Now that's what I asked. I said, can I drive it over to the refrigerator to get another beer? They're pretty. Aside from just being cool looking, they look comfortable too.
It does.
These things are awesome, but I think they cost like $4,000 a piece, which is out of my price range.
Yeah, mine too. Like, I have a grenade launcher on my AR. Like, those are legal.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Like, there's a whole lot more things than people realize that are legal to own.
Yeah, that's an awesome chair.
That is an awesome chair.
I would like to get one to put in my studio up here. I'm not going to put it in the living room because that's just weird. But
Shit, I would.
I believe you.
That is funny. No, I wouldn't buy that, but it's funny. I can understand how some people would.
I mean, come on, it's cool.
Yeah. If you could cruise it around the house, I would buy it and take it outside.
Yeah, it could be like Vic's hover round. You know, you just like cruise around the house in it.
Yeah, I mean, Lou's right. Every right that we have has limitations, and that's just obvious. And
Yeah, well, yes, there is in legal precedents called reasonable limitations. People just disagree on what the reasonable limitation is. I think the reasonable limitation is a fucking nuke.
Personal nuke.
Yeah, I think I draw the line at nuclear bombs. I mean,
I draw the line way fucking before that.
Why?
I can't remember the name of the guy. He was on Joe Rogan. He wrote a book.
Right. Yeah.
Did you hear that he? I know what it was. He was a drug runner running drugs from South America to the United States. I want to say in the 90s is when it was. And
drug card.
yeah, he was an American guy. He bought a submarine to transfer coke from South America to the United States. And he bought it from some on the underground, obviously, from some Russians. And he said the Russian guy said, "Hey, would you like a nuclear missile too?" Like they tried to sell him nukes along with his submarine.
Silk Road.
Well, yeah, a lot of shit came up missing after the Soviet collapse.
I think they offered him the nuke for like $100,000, like a cheap price too. They're like, for an extra $100,000, we could throw in a nuke. He's like, what? I don't need that.
Sorry, excuse me.
I mean, like I said, to me, there's already fighter jets in private collections. There's tanks in private collections. Okay, draw the line at nukes. Civilians can have anything but nukes.
Well, it's one thing to make it illegal. Like how many people are actually going to go buy a tank and run around and, blow up cities with it? That's not happening.
Many. They don't have the money for it. They don't have the space for it.
All right.
Exactly. Like them tanks still cost like $10 or $12 million a piece, so it's not like everybody's gonna be running around with one of those.
All right. I bet you Elon Musk probably has one though.
Probably.
Leave it to him.
Jeff
I mean, he's the
Bezos.
richest man on earth.
Jeff Bezos probably got one.
Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Bill Gates ain't got no
Bill
damn
Gates
tank.
Bill Gates just he sits in a fucking hut eating crickets with what was the last guy that owned Twitter? Fucking Jack Dorsey.
Yeah.
Talk about a weird motherfucker.
Yeah.
Description says, I draw the line at anything that takes modern ammo. Everything you type just shows us how you know nothing about firearms at all.
Takes
Every
mod.
weapon you can think of takes modern ammo.
I mean, a 45 caliber bullet is the same as it was in fucking 1850. Sir, I don't know what you're saying. It's the same exact bullet.
The modern cartridge has been a thing since the Civil War.
Yes.
Like, they haven't really changed a whole lot since then.
Well, he doesn't know anything about guns, but he's watching MSNBC and CNN every day, so he thinks he does. He's watching fucking the View or something. I don't know.
And that's the problem too, is the motherfuckers making the laws have no clue what the fuck they're talking about.
Well, that's true too.
Ooh, new drink.
I'm not gonna lie. If I had enough money, I'd buy a tank. I mean, I wouldn't shoot nobody with it, but
No, but I'd go buy some junkers from the junkyard and have some fun.
yeah. What was that movie with Seth Rogen where he went to North Korea?
Oh, the interview.
Oh,
the
the
interview.
interview.
The interview, yeah. Remember, he's sitting in the tank with fucking Kim Jong-un smoking weed.
I mean, fuck, you can pull it up on YouTube now. There's people going through a McDonald's drive-thru in a tank. A World War II fucking Abrams.
Will Joe Rogan be charged for lying on his gun application like Hunter? I don't even know what you're talking about.
German. But yeah.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Are you talking about because he smokes weed or something? Yeah, I think that must be what he's saying.
Yeah, right. Because according to a lot of politicians that are in their 70s, that makes them a drug addict, doesn't it? And a lot of them in Texas, where Joe Rogan lives.
This might shock you, but I think the charges against Hunter Biden were fucking stupid.
I agree, and I'm not a Hunter Biden fan, but the next time someone tells you that the Biden DOJ is corrupt because they're going after Trump, he could have stopped the prosecution of his own son at any point in the entire process and didn't do it.
Well, and that's exactly why they didn't. But let's not quit trying to play games about it, Volusia. What he means and what everybody what everybody means by that is he was grossly undercharged. How about all the child porn they didn't charge him for, or the fact that he's on video with an underage prostitute?
So first of all, Joshua, cocaine and weed are both Schedule I substances in the United States, and so it doesn't make a difference whether it's cocaine or weed. Now, going to the prostitutes thing, I don't know, man. I mean, fucking not everybody that does every crime is prosecuted. Trump's committed plenty of crimes in his life, and now he's finally getting prosecuted for one. I mean, okay. I'm sure the statute of limitations on a lot of that shit is passed.
You need an assault rifle to hunt is coming next. I don't even know what you think. What's an assault rifle? I mean, any gun that shoots somebody's an assault rifle, isn't it? I don't even know what that means.
That's like when they throw up that term "weapon of war," like they're all designed for war.
They just made up this term "assault rifle." Is an 1865 bolt action rifle? Is that an assault rifle, or does it have to be an AR-15?
They should more clearly define it.
I don't know because there is no such thing.
It is clearly defined in law.
Yep. I should not be so loud. I'm standing outside right now. I'll be quiet.
AR-15 doesn't, under legal terms, doesn't qualify as an assault rifle because it's not capable of fully automatic fire.
Well, doesn't AR mean assault rifle?
No, it means armor light.
It doesn't.
It means Armorite, whatever.
Armalite was the company that created the AR-15 before World War II.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
You mean Vietnam?
No, it was in the 40s or 50s.
No.
All right, so
Stoner created the AR. I mean, he was working on it in the 50s, but first put it out in the 60s.
right.
They were still using Browning automatic rifles and Thompson submachine guns and M1 Garands in World War II.
Yeah.
A clip-fed ghost gun. Nobody needs one. I don't even know what that means. But as far as not needing one, you don't need a cell phone or a TV either. But you have both of those, don't you?
A ghost gun. What's that?
There's no such thing. No, that he took directly from some fucking numbnuts in California. I remember the press conference. That whole thing has just become a meme at this point.
Yeah, so is that like a gun that you can...
It's a 3D printed gun. It's a ghost gun.
So is it like a gun that you can shoot ghosts with?
No,
Like,
all ghost means is there's no serial number on it for the government to track you. That's why they're illegal.
Right, okay, I thought maybe it was some kind of like...
No, they're not all illegal. I've got a friend who has a Remington prototype.
And by friend, you mean you.
No, I don't have it, but I'd love that. I'd shot it. But no.
Now, Slim, why is it legal? What's the loophole there?
Because guns without a serial number aren't illegal.
They weren't illegal when this gun was made.
They're only banned in certain states.
Okay.
And that's a relatively new thing. He got a hold of that back when he was in the Navy.
Right. But it's, of course, illegal to remove the serial number from a gun.
Yeah, it's illegal to remove it, but it's not illegal to own a rifle, at least federally, without a serial number. Like I said, that's what makes all this a convoluted mess is some shit's legal in some states, some shit's illegal in other states, and some shit is legal and illegal federally.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
Well, the gun laws aren't going the way that some of the people in the chat want them to go. So, sorry.
Actually, they're going the exact opposite. And
they're going the opposite.
Clarence Thomas has even said they're fixing to take up a case that's trying to go after the National Firearms Act and repeal it.
Yeah, and
more
we
to
gotta
come.
make sure we don't have any supervision of corrupt Supreme Court. This is unrelated to what you're saying.
Well, I mean, if they hate the gun laws so much, I mean, they're free to move to any number of countries like China, where you live, where you can't own a gun, and you'll be perfectly safe. Trust me.
Well, not everybody can do that, but of course
they can.
Move to China. Not
in a
everybody
concentration
can do
camp.
Well, I mean, you did, and Bandy Dandy did.
that. Yeah, not everyone can do that.
Yeah, you did it.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to have a, visa, a job.
Move to China if you're a Muslim right now. Tell me how that works out for you.
That depends. There's a lot of Muslims here. Lots of them. China and Pakistan have a fucking great friendship. It's actually kind of weird.
I have an assault hammer and a screwdriver.
That's right.
That sounds like Michael Myers there.
You mean a sledgehammer?
Did you know, by the numbers, more people actually are beaten to death every year than are killed by all rifles?
Well, that doesn't surprise me at all. And probably most of them are like...
You were getting hammers? Lol.
Okay,
that's how you know these people are disingenuous. Like, nobody actually talks about banning handguns, which is what kills the vast majority of people.
Well, because it's the vast majority of the guns are handguns.
Yeah. Handguns, usually it's only one person, but yeah. Or, one at a time. Yeah, they get killed.
Well, no, it's not.
Instead of a bunch.
Handgun is capable of the same rate of fire as an AR-15.
Yeah, exactly.
Guess what?
Yeah.
I have a 30-round mag for my Glock.
Well, allow us to just say...
A lot of Muslims.
I have a 100-round mag for my Glock.
A lot of Muslims.
He's got a stick.
That usually handguns...
funny hats.
Shootings. It's usually rifles that are used for shooting.
And I mean, you do realize that it's either deadliest or second deadliest school shooting in U.S. history was with nothing but handguns. Virginia Tech.
Virginia
Which
Tech,
one
yeah.
was that?
That's all that dude had was a couple of
Oh yeah, that's right.
Virginia Tech was a couple of
2007.
handguns. Couple of Glocks. Matter of fact.
Right, and the guy at Sandy Hook only used handguns. Or
I don't understand what type of gun has to do with anything. It's like Slim just said. You can shoot a Glock at the same rate of fire as you can an AR-15.
exactly.
Yeah.
They usually don't hold as much ammo. But
I can go on right now. Vic, I can go on Amazon right now and buy a 30-round clip or magazine for any one of my handguns for like $50. That's what an AR-15 holds, 30 rounds. So.
I have a 30-round mag for my Glock right now.
Yeah.
I also have a 100-round drum for my Glock.
List of
Well,
school
there you go.
mascots.
I guess that's why they've talked about banning high capacity magazines.
Well, they've already done it in several states.
The court's already shut that. Yeah, well, guess what? California's been struck down by the state Supreme Court.
When did that happen? Because I know. Is that new?
Well, it's happened several times, but much like New York, California just keeps rewriting the law, implementing it, and making
there's like 10 states that where anything over 10 rounds is banned in any gun, whether it's a rifle or a handgun.
Yeah, well, like I said, as soon as they lose a court case, they've got another law ready to vote on instantaneously. They just reword it and pass it again and make somebody go to court again.
And then they have this, so they have a magazine limit on rounds, but they don't have a limit on how many magazines you can have. So you can have 10 magazines with 10 rounds in them. So that's 100 rounds. But you can't have one magazine with 11 rounds. Tell me how that makes sense.
How long does it take you to reload, Pete?
2 seconds.
I can do it exactly.
Anyway, I would love to continue this conversation, but I do have to get off.
Okay.
Yes. It was very.
You round on Wednesday?
Huh?
You round on Wednesday?
Yeah, I'll be here on Wednesday. Yeah.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
All right, boys.
All right, gentlemen. Appreciate all of you. Volusia, Roll Tide 99, VicTube, and of course the incomparable and Slim Shady Canes. Thanks, guys, for coming on.
One and only.
The one and only. All right.
Thank you, Pete.
Yeah. Thank you. Talk to y'all later.
Yep.
All right, everybody. That's going to do it for me. Again, announcement: no lunch money show tonight because we're degenerate gamblers and the game is on, so we want to watch it. And also the window to book your cruise ship for the Slob cruise or your room on the Slob cruise has been extended by 5 days. So if you haven't and you want to come, today was the deadline, but Traveling Fools informed me that it's going to go through Friday. So you have until Friday, if you haven't booked it, to go ahead and book it and get all of your perks and whatnot and make sure you get a room. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your Monday. Thank you.